Alright, hello everybody, how's it going? First thing we're going to be starting on is the perspective view. So, let's move into Rhino. You should have your 3D model done by now. Well, to start on this, you should have it done. So he wants us to have a perspective view where it's somebody actually standing inside the building and not just like a frontal view of the building. So we want to have a camera and a target placed. So I'm going to start with a polyline and put it right here where someone's going to be walking up the stairs and standing and looking directly into my building. So I'll go into front view, so I have a straight line up, and then enter in 5 foot 8 inches. It's about the average human height. Hit enter a couple times. And then we'll go into perspective again. Click here, extend it out along this axis, and then I just hit 5, it doesn't really matter. But you want to have a line that extends out from here because that's where your target's going to be placed at. Then we'll go into the camera target. So go into this little blue box up here, click on set camera, go to place camera and target. I'm going to have this come up. The camera is going to start on this first one right here, this first point, and the target is going to end on the second point that we just made. So I have a view that looks something like this. This is recording, right? Okay. Yeah, so we'll go into top view, and then I always say it's this one, that, and then we'll go back into perspective, and then we'll do make 2D. And then I don't like hidden lines, I've never been that person, but we're gonna make sure it's view perspective, and then you can group output, not group output, it doesn't matter. Hit OK. Then we'll go into top view, and sorry, my file's a mess right now. Move that up. Oh, okay. Z and S are what helps you kind of move in really quickly. So this is a disaster. So I'll end up trimming this up and making it look a little better, but for time's sake, we're just going to go off of the one that I've already made. Where is it? Okay. I recommend trimming it up in Rhino and taking it into Illustrator so you get all these line weights right. So this drawing isn't perfect, but highlights some of the more important things. Like right here, this bush is technically behind this this support right here for the railing, so you want to make sure that it feels 3D, you know. And the ground right here, it's covered up by this right here, so I move that. See, I would add shadows. I would recommend adding shadows for your shade structure as well, kind of looking at how your envelope would let light in and how it would sit on the ground and stuff like that. But yeah, these are you know, just regular people that I made in Illustrator or Photoshop. You want to use the same orange. I don't like them clear. I don't like clear people. I don't know. Well, I'll talk to him about it, see what he thinks. Make sure to add some shadows to make it feel like alive in there. Yeah. So, I think of some more important things. Oh, okay. These topo lines right here, they are 0.24 and they're grayed out, and they're also at every 0.5 meter. So if this is however tall, they would be split up into that many sections. Yeah. So this should be uploaded. If not, I'll upload it. That way you can reference it, take it in Illustrator, tear it apart, whatever you need. Okay. Then we'll move on to the exploded axonometric view. So go back here. Alright, so I have this right here. This should be your model completely done. And then mine's not grouped up, but it should be. You want to have it in groups of your envelope, your structure, your 3D floor plan, your bridges, and then like your retaining wall and the soil and stuff like that. That should all be grouped into one thing. That way you can move it around in intervals really easily. So these are at 17 meters, I believe. It doesn't have to be exactly that, because I know some people will have, let's see, like say if you have a wall right here, it'll look kind of funny, right? Like you're gonna have that overlap and you don't want that. So feel free to adjust it as you see fit. Just make sure that all the intervals are even. With that being said, the scale is going to be different for every single person. Sorry, I'm flipping through notes to make sure I get everything right. But yeah, make sure that even intervals all the way down. You want to have it so it's envelope, structure, substructure, bridges, platforms, typology, program, and wall, and then your retaining wall, or your 3D floor plan up here, and then your retaining wall, and then your soil. And then these are some explosion lines. I do dash. He liked them, so I'm just gonna stick with those. To get this line, sometimes you'll get something kind of looking like that, and you can't really tell that there is any difference in the line, you know. So you want to make sure that you have the right layer selected, you know, layer and properties. So to make sure that we all have the exact same exploded line scale, go up to File, go up to Properties. It's going to pull up the properties for the entire file. Go into Line Types right here. Go into, oh actually you don't need to change anything right here. Go into Line Type Scale at the very bottom. Just type in 400. I feel like that's what came out the best. I was messing with a couple other ones. Just stick with that. Then we'll have the exact line scale for that. And yeah, that's what it should come out in Rhino. Again, I recommend cleaning it up. You know, I still need to do some things because you'll get some ugly lines that look like this. And then you scroll back, and then you'll see little patches of dark right here, here, and it's really distracting because it makes it look makes the line look black instead of like gray, if you want it. All right, go into Illustrator. No, not this one. All right, so this is what it will look like. Your files. Your first one, you're going to have the soil and retaining wall highlighted. The second one, you're going to have this, the typology, or the topography, the program, and any floor plan you have going on in black. Then your bridges and platforms, structure, substructure, and then envelope. This is not in gray because I threw it together last second, but you want to have all your sustainability strategies on here as well, including like solar panels, water recirculation and stuff like that. And you want to really pay attention to your drawings because you get things like this, you know, even where I messed up, I was like, great. So we'll go into Illustrator and I'll pull up another one. Alright, so for structure, substructure, I have this right here. My substructure, I believe, is at 0.125, 0.24. and then everything else that's not on this layer or pertaining to structure substructure be grayed out. The gray that we're using is a hairline, so it's 001. The stroke is C9, C9, C9. That's the gray that we're going to use for the non-highlighted one. For the actual highlighted, I think this one is a highlighted one. Yeah, okay. So you can see that this gray and this gray are different because this is the highlighted layer. And this is just going to be the classic one that we've been using, the 80-80-80. So you're right here. Let's see. Go back to my notes. Make sure you add your plants and your people. Don't forget. So this is going to be where they're all going to be. They're not going to be on any other layer, except if you want to have them like walking on the bridges or stuff like that, you totally can. Yeah, and then like I said, I'll throw in all of my files. That way you can get a photo or Illustrator, and if I forgot to explain something like a line weight or you know, stuff like that, you can just go into my file and you'll see it there as well. Yeah, I think that should do it.